Hey everyone, welcome to another Top 10 list. This week's Top 10 list is brought to you by my friend Patrick Dolinsky. He suggested the top 10 bank teller fines. Now, I tell you guys all the time, be kind to your bank tellers because you never know what kind of neat stuff they are going to save for you. And, well, here's me putting my money where my mouth is. This is the top 10 notes that bank tellers have found, held for me, and sold to me at face value when I came in. Patrick, thank you very much for suggesting this. If you guys haven't checked out Patrick, please do so. I'm going to try my hardest to put a link to his page down below. And with that, let's get started. Number 10 on my list. Number 10. This is from 1934. This is a 1934 $1 silver certificate. You know that because it's got the bright blue $1 numeral right there. Not in the greatest of shape. It is a funny back. So a 1934 funny back $1 bill. I did not find this searching straps, but I did find this because it was turned in at a bank, and the teller said, "Hey, are you interested in this? I was just going to send it back, but if you want it, you can have it." So yeah, I took it. Finding a silver certificate in a strap, very, very, very difficult to do, but they do get turned in from time to time at banks. And here's the proof. My teller knew I collected notes. She saved it for me. Thank you very much. That is number 10 on my list. Number 9. Number 9 on my list, this is a small head $20 bill. This is from 1950 D small head note. It's in decent shape. It's not perfect, but it's okay. It does have a little bit of a crease here. Pretty good shape being a 1950 small head, but the cool part about it, it's a star. They found a 1950 D, and they didn't even realize it was a star. They just noticed, oh, this is old money and it's in pretty good shape. I bet Steve would want that. So they pulled it for me, and I jumped all over the fact that it was a star note. I was very excited finding this. So yeah, one of the tellers saved this for me. That is number 9, a 1950 D star note. Number 8 on my list. This note is really, really sweet. Look at the paper color on this. This is a 1928 D $20 gold $20 certificate. 1928, I was about to say redeemable in gold on demand. Not a gold certificate, it's still a Federal Reserve note, as you can see, but the obligation does say redeemable in gold on demand at the U.S. Treasury, or in gold or lawful money at any Federal Reserve bank. Now, all of our money was redeemable for gold. That's why this is not a gold certificate. But the condition of this particular note, front and back, well, the back on this one, it's got this little mark there. But the rest of this note, other than that little mark, is just exceptional. 1928B is the series on this. It has the large stamp here, the large seal on this side as well. Small size note from 1928D, very, very tough to come across, yet I had a bank teller save this one for me. Finding 1928s or 1934s is just about impossible to do now. So when you have the tellers looking out for you, you can score some really nice stuff. That is number 8 on my list. Number 7. I had bank tellers call me up and say, "Hey, someone turned in a bunch of red seal notes." I bought all of them. And this was one of the red seals that was in there. Not only is it a 1963 red seal, this note is extremely nice. If this isn't a 58 or a 60, I don't know what would be. Just beautiful, beautiful note. And it's a star. And look at how low that serial number is. Number 1063. This particular note, even though it's only a $2 bill, wouldn't surprise me if it would get somewhere between $60 and $75 for this particular note. In this condition, being a star note, just an incredible find from the tellers. They let me know that this was deposited. They were just going to get rid of it. And I said, no, I'll take it. So yeah, bank teller find for sure. 1963 legal tender star note. That is number 7. Number 6. Number 6 is a 1934A $10 Federal Reserve note. Now, Being a 34A $10 note, that is pretty cool in and of itself. This one also happens to be a trinary. Look at the serial number. 1s, 9s, and 0s are all you see in that particular number. Yeah, it does have a couple creases in it, but it is a 1934A, and this was essentially found in circulation. Somebody turned this particular note in, the bank tellers set it aside, and when I came in, they were eager to show me this one. So yeah, I managed to get a 1934A trinary $10 Federal Reserve note just because I'm usually very nice to the tellers. It pays to be good to them. That is number 6. Number 5. Number 5 on my list is another $10 note. This particular $10 note, you'll notice, is the 1928B, and this is the lime green note. The lime green 28B $10 note. The lime green notes are always the notes that people are after. You can have the lime green and the dark green side by side. People are probably going to take the lime green, and oddly enough, they're worth about the same. But if you want the one, if you have the one that everybody wants, guess which one's going to sell first? Being able to find this, for a teller to find this and to hold it for me, I am extremely grateful for that. The 1934. This is a different sleeve. Yeah, as you can see, this was 1928B. What is that? Yeah. So that's for a different note. I think that's in there. But anyway, finding the 1928B in circulation, well, not in circulation, but from a teller, that was very cool for me. Number 4 on my list. Another teller held this one for me. This is a 1934 $50 note. And they pulled it and they said, well, you probably don't want it because it's all beat up and it's got some writing on it over here. Yeah, it does have a little bit of writing. It looks like red pencil or something like that. It does have some creases in it, but nonetheless, it's still a 1934 $50 bill. Now, when it comes to older notes, yeah, it's got some pencil in the back here. $50 notes, they don't make very many 50s, not very many at all. So if you have a $50, well, if you have an older note, having a 50 makes it that much more special. It's just not used very much. The only note that's used less than a 50 would be a $2 bill. So yeah, you don't see a whole lot of 50s out there at all. And for a teller to save this particular one for me, that is just great. 1934 $50 bill. That is number 3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. That was number 4, sorry. Number 3 on my list. Another one that was saved for me, and the teller wasn't sure if I'd want it because it had writing on it and it had this crease. I said, give the note to me. I will take this gladly. What we have here is a 1934A $100 bill. Kind of neat serial number, 1221324 yeah. So you've got 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s in the serial number. Nothing special there. It's just kind of neat, that's all. But still, to find a 1934A, there it is right there, 1934A $100 bill. They saved this for me, and this particular one is also a mule. Now, a mule is when you have the front plate of one note and you have the back plate of another. And I don't mean a different denomination. This particular back plate came from the 1934 series, and the front plate is from the 34A series. So you have two separate series being combined here. The term mule, that's what happens when you take a horse and a donkey and mate them. You get a mule. Two things that aren't supposed to go together. And this bill, this note, is the 1934A front and the 1934 back, thus making it a mule. So yeah, they were worried about a little bit of writing. I said, no, I will take that. Not only is it this, it is a mule. I was excited to have it. That is number 3 on my list. Number 2, this is my most recent bank find. I haven't told anybody about this one yet. I haven't shown it in a video or anything. This is making its debut. I got this from a teller. Yes, a $5 red seal. This came from a bank. I just happened to be at a bank I hadn't been at before, and they kind of looked at me funny as I was dropping off singles, and I said, yeah, I collect old money. And after telling them a little bit about some of the stuff I had, she says, well, I was going to save this, but it's not in the greatest of shape. Do you want it? I said, yes, I do. This is a 1963 $5 red seal. Yeah, it's got a crease in it. Yeah, it's not perfect. But how often do you get to buy a red seal from a bank at face value? I was very happy to get this. Not something you see every day. The red seals stand out so much that people just don't turn them in. They aren't redeemed at all. So for a bank teller to have had this and to have given it to me for face value, I really, really appreciate that. That is number 2 on my list. So what is the number 1 item that I got from a teller? Well, that I'm going to show you here. Number 1 on my list. This is a full strap, and that's how I got it, by the way, with the corner like that. This is a full strap of 10s, and they are in order because it's a brand new strap. And you'll notice they're stars. Now, I'm going to carefully flip through these. It's the entire strap of star notes of $10 bills. And when I looked this up, I believe this was not a 3.2 million print run. So I was surprised that they were all together. Actually, this was out of a print run of somewhere around 1.2 million, if I remember right. So a 1.2 million print number of sequential brand new $10 star notes. Yes, I got this for face value. Just to give you an idea, I found sequential star notes that weren't rare in $1 notes, and I put those up on eBay, and I got $300 for those without a problem. So that was 3 times face. I don't expect to get 3 times face for this whenever I do decide to sell it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I got 2 times face. One of these days I'll get the courage to put it up there. But yeah, full strap. You can see it's almost perfect. There, that one's got the little bit there, but all the rest of the stuff is pretty good on there. That is the best find I have gotten from the tellers. Full strap of 10s, sequential star notes. So that's what I've got for you guys this week. Patrick, thank you very much for suggesting this idea. It's always good to know what things are possible when you're kind to your tellers. This alone would be an impressive collection for a lot of people, and this is just stuff I happen to have gotten for face value because I was nice to the tellers. All right, guys, if you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you have an idea for a list, make sure to put that down in the comments, and I'll see what I can do for you. Guys, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next week.